You check your banking app on a Tuesday morning. Coffee in one hand, phone in the other. Your balance reads $2,147,000,000. You blink, you close the app. You open it again. The number is still there. That number is not random. 2.147 billion is the maximum value a 32-bit signed integer can hold. It is the largest number certain banking computers can process. Somewhere, a system overflowed. And it overflowed into your account. Your first instinct is pure adrenaline. Your second instinct is fear. Because deep down, you know this money is not yours. But right now, at 7:43 a.m. on a Tuesday, you have access to more money than most countries have in their treasury. If you love impossible money situations, hit subscribe. Because what happens next is wilder than you think. Let us start with what actually happens in banking systems when a glitch like this occurs. Banks do not store your money in a vault with your name on it. Your balance is just a number in a database, a row in a table. When the system says you have $2 billion, the system believes you have $2 billion. And here is the terrifying part. For a brief window of time, that number is functionally real. You could walk into a car dealership and wire money for a Lamborghini. You could transfer $1 million to another bank. The system would process it. Because the system trusts itself. This is not hypothetical. In 2019, a Chase Bank glitch allowed customers to deposit fake checks and withdraw cash before the checks bounced. Hundreds of people drained ATMs. They posted it on social media. They called it the infinite money glitch. They all got arrested. In 2009, a 22-year-old in New Zealand woke up with $10 million in his account. A Westpac bank error. He withdrew as much as he could, fled the country, and lived on the run for 3 years before Interpol caught him in Hong Kong. He went to prison for 4.5 years. In 2021, a couple in Pennsylvania received $120,000 by accident from their credit union. They spent it. Cars, an SUV, a camper, a race car. They gave $15,000 to a friend. When the bank asked for the money back, it was gone. They were both charged with theft. The legal principle is clear and absolute. Money deposited into your account by mistake does not belong to you. Period. It does not matter that you did not ask for it. It does not matter that the bank screwed up. Spending it is legally identical to stealing it. But here is where it gets interesting. What if you do not spend it? What if you just leave it there? In most jurisdictions, simply having the money in your account is not a crime. The crime happens when you use it. So you wait. And while you wait, let us talk about what is happening on the bank's side. Because the bank has a much bigger problem than you do. Somewhere in their system, $2 billion appeared from nowhere. That means their books do not balance. Banks are required to balance their books to the penny every single day. When $2 billion appears on one side without a matching entry on the other side, alarm bells go off at every level. The compliance team knows. The risk team knows. The CEO gets a phone call. Within 2 hours, the bank's IT team has traced the error. A routine overnight batch process that transfers funds between internal accounts hit a buffer overflow. Instead of moving $21,474 between 2 reserve accounts, it deposited the maximum integer value into a random customer account. Yours. Here is the critical question. Can the bank just reverse the transaction? Take the money back without asking you? The answer depends on where you live. In the United States, under Regulation E, the bank can reverse an electronic transfer error without your consent. But they must notify you. And they must do it within a specific time frame. In most cases, the reversal happens within 24 to 48 hours. The money simply disappears from your account as quietly as it arrived. You wake up Wednesday morning, and the $2 billion is gone. Like it never happened. But what if you moved fast? What if in those 24 hours, you transferred $50 million to a Swiss bank account? Here is what actually happens. First, you would not get far. Any transfer over $10,000 triggers an automatic suspicious activity report, or SAR. A $50 million transfer from an account that held $4,000 yesterday would light up every fraud system in the banking network simultaneously. The receiving bank would freeze the funds immediately. Your bank would freeze your account. The FBI's Financial Crimes Unit would open a case. And within 72 hours, you would have federal agents at your door. Not local police. Federal agents. The charges would be wire fraud, money laundering, and theft by deception. Wire fraud alone carries a maximum penalty of 20 years in federal prison. And because the amount exceeds $1 million, you qualify for enhanced sentencing. You are looking at 10 to 30 years. Now here is the part that might surprise you. Some people have received bank errors and kept the money legally, not by spending it, by negotiating. And the amounts are sometimes staggering. In 2013, a man in Ohio received $1.5 million from a Citibank error. He did not spend it. He called a lawyer. The lawyer contacted the bank and said, "My client will return the money, but the bank must compensate him for the inconvenience and the legal fees." After months of negotiation, the man received a settlement of $250,000 for doing nothing except being patient. Why would the bank pay him? Because the bank's error exposed them to regulatory penalties. The fact that a customer account could be credited with $1.5 million without authorization means their internal controls failed. That is a compliance violation. The bank was paying for silence and speed. The customer just needed to know his leverage. So let us go back to your $2 billion. You did not spend it. You called a lawyer. And your lawyer is now in conversation with the bank's legal team. Here is the negotiation landscape. The bank needs the money back immediately. Every hour that $2 billion sits in your account is an hour their books are out of balance. Regulators could fine them millions per day for an unresolved discrepancy of this size. They need you to cooperate, and cooperation has a price. Your lawyer proposes a settlement. Return the full $2 billion in exchange for a payment of $500,000, a written apology, and a confidentiality agreement. The bank's lawyers counter with $50,000. Your lawyer laughs. The negotiation continues for 11 days. Day 12. The bank settles. $275,000, plus full coverage of your legal fees, which adds another $40,000. Total payout, $315,000. For a mistake you did not make, money you did not spend, and a problem you did not create. Now, before you think this is a cheat code, there are important caveats. This only works if you do not touch the money. The moment you spend a single dollar of the glitch money, you lose all negotiating leverage and gain criminal liability. The line between windfall and felony is one debit card swipe. And there is a deeper lesson here about how modern money actually works. The $2 billion in your account was never real. There was no vault that got emptied, no cash that moved. It was a number that changed in a database because a computer made an arithmetic error. 7% of all money in the world exists only as digital entries. There are roughly $40 trillion in the global money supply. Only $8 trillion of that is physical cash. The rest is numbers on screens. Agreements between computers. Trust codified as code. Your $2 billion Tuesday morning was a glitch in the matrix of trust. And the fact that you could have spent some of it before anyone noticed tells you something unsettling about the system we all depend on. It works because we all agree it works. The moment we stop agreeing, the numbers on the screen mean nothing. But here is the good news. That trust has held for centuries. And the safeguards, the regulations, the compliance systems, they exist precisely because the system knows it is fragile. Every rule in banking exists because someone, somewhere, found a way to break it. So what should you actually do if this happens to you? Step 1. Do not spend it. Step 2. Document everything. Screenshot the balance. Note the date and time. Step 3. Call a lawyer. Not the bank. A lawyer. Step 4. Let the lawyer contact the bank. And step 5. Be patient. Patience is literally worth hundreds of thousands of dollars in this scenario. One last thing. After the settlement, after the money is returned, and the $315,000 is in your real account, the IRS will want their cut. Bank error settlements are taxable as ordinary income. At this amount, you are looking at roughly $100,000 in federal and state taxes. Your actual take-home from the Tuesday morning glitch, about $215,000. $215,000 because a computer counted wrong and you were smart enough not to touch it. That is the most anyone has ever earned from self-control. If this changed how you think about money and the system behind it, hit subscribe. We tell money stories that keep you ahead.